It's your boy Adonis, representing more life. And I'm here today talking about, living with sickle cell and my 5 tips for living with sickle cell. There's not no order, no best, no worst. It's just 5 good tips, basic fundamental tips that I think everyone with sickle cell, and some tips just for everyone that you should follow. So let's jump right into it. Okay, tip number 1 is gonna be staying hydrated. This is number 1 because being dehydrated is the number 1 reason, the number 1 cause for my crises in my lifetime. It's the number 1 reason why I went to the hospitals, because I wasn't dehydrated. I was dehydrated, sorry. When I was younger, I played a lot of sports. I was outside a lot, and I just wasn't taking in how much water I was consuming. Like, it just wasn't something I was tracking, which you should track. It's not hard. Like, this goes for everyone. Everyone should be drinking 3 liters of water a day minimum. 3.5 liters, whatever, 3 liters minimum. But especially if you have sickle cell anemia, like, this is just crucial. And I feel like a lot of people with sickle cell anemia might overlook this. And I just want to help you guys out because I definitely overlooked this when I was younger. So for all the younger people, drink your water, like, especially if you live in like a hot country where it's always hot and humid and you're sweating, like Africa or whatever. If it's really hot, you need to drink your water. Trust me. Tip number 2, and this kind of ties in with being dehydrated. Physical activity. Physical activity is really important, I believe, if you have sickle cell anemia. Well, first of all, when it comes to going to the gym and working out, you have to really know your body and yourself, especially with sickle cell anemia, because over exertion is another factor in crises. So you have to know what you can do. You can't push yourself too hard. For example, I can't do sprints. Every time I sprint, I can just feel like I'm just pushing like, when you sprint, you're pushing your body so hard. When you sprint, you're going all out. Sprinting's not like jogging where it's leisurely. You can sort of manage your energy. Yada yada yada. Sprinting, you're just going all out, all full energy for those last 10 yards to make that touchdown, or to dunk the basketball, or to just run away from someone who's chasing you, whatever. Sprinting is a high level, like high energy activity, and it's really taxing on your body. So me, and anytime I sprinted, I can just feel like my body is like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, calm down. Like, I can just feel the crisis coming. So physical activity is really important, but you got to be careful, especially with sickle cell, and especially if you have, SS, for example. But again, with sickle cell, people with sickle cell, we have low energy, and a lot of people don't understand that, it's just because of our hemoglobin and our blood cells, and they just don't understand sometimes. But when you work out, it actually increases your energy, increases your blood flow, increases just your overall well-being. So if energy is something you lack, you should definitely start exercising. Maybe start off 10 minutes a day, and then slowly, once you learn what you can handle, and then you start to plateau, you can push yourself a little bit. But don't go super ham. Like, don't be in the gym following your friends who don't have sickle cell and they're going crazy. We're not like them. We need to calm down. We need to take longer breaks. We can't we can't just be going crazy like that. It's just gonna cause a crisis. So, but physical activity, for sure. And over time, it's gonna be tough at the beginning, but eventually it's gonna, you're gonna get used to it, and your body's gonna adjust, and you're gonna be good, and you're gonna be nice and lean, and you're gonna look good. So physical activity is really important. So number 3 is having friends and family, and like a support group. Not really a support group, but people you can talk to about sickle cell and that know you have sickle cell. And this is really important tip because, I know how it is living with sickle cell, and sometimes you feel alienated, or you feel like people don't understand you, and you feel alone, like you feel like it's just you against the world. A lot of people feel this way, even if you don't have sickle cell, but focus on us right now. And it's really important, I believe, to have like your friends and family and a support group. Talk to other people with sickle cell. Ask them what they do when they experience a crisis, or when they feel something coming on. Ask them how they get their activities in, or how they how they go about with work. Like we can bounce ideas off each other, and grow a community. That's what I'm trying to do right now, and just where you don't feel like you're alone. You have someone. You're not alone out here. Another reason to have a kind of support group and friends and family that you can talk about sickle cell with is just explaining to people what sickle cell disease is. And it feels good knowing that people know what you go through and they actually care. So if you have this support group that you can come to, or like, they're like, oh, how you feeling today? Are you feeling like, yo, we're going on a hike, bring your water. Like, it feels so good. Like, I feel so good when I told my friends eventually, because I remember when I was younger, I used to hide it. Like, I didn't hide it, but like, I would get sick, and then my friends would be like, yo, what happened? I was like, oh, I was sick, or oh, I had to travel somewhere. Just make up a whole bunch of like random stuff. I won't tell them the truth. But you should find people that you can talk to and be honest with about your feelings and how you feel and what you're going through, because it just helps. And it just feels good knowing that people care. When I go out, my friends like, yo, make sure you pack your water bottle. You don't want to get sick. Or yo, make sure you're good. Like, or yo, you want to take a break. Like, it feels good knowing that people actually care, and like you're not alone. So that's tip number 3. Okay, number 4. I know people might come after me for this, but don't eat meat, or eat less meat. This is crucial. Like, I feel like if people with sickle cell anemia were vegans, it would make a big difference in the amount of crises and pains and aches and all that stuff that you experience throughout the year. When I started to learn about veganism and vegetarian and all that stuff, and giving up meat, when I started it, at the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing. I just dropped everything. I lost a whole bunch of weight. But when I started to build myself up and slowly, learn how to make meals around plant-based materials and stuff, I felt great. Like, my like, when you feel those aches and pains in your bones or like your muscles, and it's like, oh, like, I hope this doesn't turn into a crisis. Let me go lay down. Or what I used to do, I used to take hot baths or go in a jacuzzi, and it would alleviate the pain. Or like, just if it was summer, I'll just go outside and just like bask in the sun. And it'll feel so good, and the pain will go away. Maybe because it increased the blood flow or something. But just dropping all the meat, it just feels so good. Like, when I did it, I got less aches and pains. My bones weren't aching all the time. I felt more alive. Like, I had more energy. Um, I was less angry, and I felt good. Like, it was just felt like I was doing the right thing. Like, just imagine if everyone in the world were to just lessen their meat intake. Not even give it up. Just lessen it. Imagine how better the world would be. Less pollution, less killing these animals, fighting over agriculture, burning down. They burn down the rainforest just so they can get land, so they can grow crops and farm animals and cows. Like, can you believe that? It's ridiculous, just for profit. And like, also another thing with being angry, I feel like when you eat meat, all those intentions that go into, like, what happened to the animal, it's in your food. Like, that's just how I feel. But just hear me out. Like, if you watch what they do, how they treat some of the animals, like I seen some videos It's like it's crazy. You gotta do your own research. But like how what they do to these animals, and like all that anxiety the animal goes through, the pain, the just all the trauma. I just like anger, sadness. That's going into the food. Like you're eating that, all that intention. All those guys who fucking they're butchering the animals, just whipping them for no reason, laughing. All those intentions are going into that, and then you're eating that and consuming that, and then like I feel like it's gonna mess with you. It's gonna make you feel a certain way. It's gonna lower your vibration. That's what it's gonna do. It's gonna lower your vibration. I'm not saying you're gonna eat a piece of bacon and then you're gonna go on a fucking killing spree, but it's just something to think about. Like over time, shit adds up. Too much of anything isn't good for you. Who's that? Tip number 5: uh, drinking and smoking. Okay, this was another thing that caused majority of my crises throughout my life, drinking. And that ties into the dehydration. When you drink, you get dehydrated. So it's most likely, if you're not managing your water intake really well, and it's kind of hard sometimes, especially when you're drunk, you're gonna get a crisis. So when I was younger, I was getting all the crises, and the doctor talked to me. He said, when you drink, every beer, every shot, drink 500 milliliters of water for everything. And that's what I was doing for a while, and it worked. But it's like, is it really worth it? Like, it's a conversation starter too at parties. Like, oh, you chasing with water? Like, why you drinking so much water? Are you even getting drunk? It's like, yeah, it's different. But is it really worth it? I remember one time I was in the hospital, and the patient beside me was a nigga like me who had sickle cell, and we're just talking, vibing out, and I asked him how he got in here, and he's like, oh, he partied too much, he drank too much, didn't drink enough water, and then the next morning woke up in pain, da 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 da, back here. And with him, it was like he was like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep on drinking. I'm gonna keep on doing me. I'm gonna live my life. Sickle cell's not gonna run me. And it's like, I'm not telling you how to live your life, but it's something. It's like we're not like other people. Like this is, if it's causing you pain, like why are you gonna keep on doing it? Why are you gonna risk it? It's always a risk. You can still drink water with every drink, but there's still a risk of, what I'm saying, your cells just blocking up your passageway because you're too dehydrated, and it causes a crisis. So it's something to think about if you really want to be drinking and smoking too. Like, if you're gonna smoke, vape it. And if you're smoking cigarettes and you have sickle cell anemia, I don't even know what to say to you, bro. You're good. Like, I don't know what to say to you. Like, to me, that's just like you don't care. Like, you don't want to live more life. I'm saying these tips will help you guys live more life. These have been helping me, so I want to help you. So just be proactive about having sickle cell anemia. And it's really all about being proactive, and just stopping the causes of your crises before they even happen. You know what I'm saying? If you're not dehydrated, your chances of getting a crisis lowers. If you're not overexerting yourself, it lowers. If you're taking care of yourself, it's gonna lower. So it's something to think about. Those are my 5 tips. I'm gonna come back with more tips. See what this channel comes into. Stay tuned, and just live more life. Peace.